today I wanted to cover, and give me a second because it's business time. And I'm going to shift us from the way a woman does business to how men do business. And so that's my initial topic, especially because we're talking taxes. And so one thing I'm going to do, when I get ready to go into a business meeting, I already have my time already planned out. I know what I want to say, and I stay on point. Now, I'm trained to do that, but I'm going to do it now with my nifty watch and I'm going to give us 15 minutes and go. All right. So now I know if I'm at this point in 2 minutes, I need to be at this point in 5 minutes, and I need to be at this point in 7 minutes, and everything, especially if you are a woman, because women tend to really have to explore their emotions and their network in order to bond and connect. That's the difference between how a man does business and how a woman does business. And you have to be very astute about when we go off into our woman mode when a man loses it. Okay, when he loses his focus, and what you're going to do to bring him back. And then some things that you can say to put yourself in the state of business. Okay, so before we start, Mershanda is going to share with you a little bit of what we covered in day 7. This is my most favorite part. And that's because we're getting ready to go to Hawaii. So we're on a time frame right now, right? It means I've got to pack, I've got to make sure we get to the airport on time, know in advance that when we land, we've got to have this, and this. And this is a beautiful part of a woman, is that she multitasks. She can do 12 things at one time. And so one of the things when I started editing yesterday's video, it's so easy for me to go into woman mode. And what should have been 15 minutes went to 27 minutes. And men won't put up with it. In fact, well, we'll just leave it at that. See how I learned to cut myself because, okay, I got to go into business mode. I got to go into male mode. So tell her a little bit about day 7, Hawaiian Hui.
So yesterday was awesome because we started talking about something that's pretty exciting, creating a Hui, which is a collective of individuals that have the same type of goal and one moving in the same direction. So, you know, we talked about a little bit because we talked about the Mexican tribe, right? And we've been hinting to it. So yesterday I learned a really awesome strategy in creating a collective Hawaiian Hui, and that was using a format where people were able to exchange even their homes for value. You know, we talked about creating soft dollars and hard dollars. So yesterday's class, I learned a lot about how to do that when you're creating a Hui. So it was a really great class. I can't wait for you guys to see the recording because I think you're going to find a lot of value out of that.
So that is a very complicated concept. It took me and Robert about 20 years to build. And so understand, in this class, in our 10-day challenge, we can just give you a little taste, right? And you're not going to understand it. And all I have to do is know that you have an interest, and then know where to take that interest to build on the bigger picture for you to understand it in the way I've designed it. The building a Hawaiian Hui is understanding how to connect homes around the world and create an income source like magic with no money. And so that's, you see how I put some taglines in where you guys went, oh, that sounds interesting. That's all we want to do. All right. Now, the second thing I wanted to share with you, for those of you who've watched or are watching all the first 7 days, you're going to see a lot of female bonding going on. And I'm going to share with you, I made it very, very important that your business dress is your uniform to go into business. And it really separates you from being that woman that wears all these different faces to being, I'm in business mode. But I wanted to share with you, for those of you who do not have the income to buy a wardrobe, I'm going to share with you some little secrets and techniques. We're going to take, let's see, I'm at 10 minutes. So we're going to take 45 seconds to do it. All right, because we're going to go into business. So I shared with you, you see, I'm going to come back here. Because we wear so many hats, I look like I'm in business, don't I? But I want to show you, all I am is wearing a t-shirt dress, black. Black is a standard suit. This was probably $5 at, I don't know if you have Walmart's, okay? T-shirt dress. And I put a nice jacket. So you might carry some nice jackets that you get from a secondhand store. I like to go to, here in Los Angeles, they have really expensive clothing stores that sell them secondhand. And I'll go and pick up 2 or 3 nice jackets. So I could be running to take the kids to school or making them breakfast and very quickly throw on a few little pieces to be back in business mode. You see, now I look like a mom, don't I? So I want you to know that you're going to start to explore your style and some simple tools that are sitting around for you to take a business look on. And that business look can be very creative, and you need to make sure there's no attractive male-female connection with your dress. It's very important that you let your suit be your armor. So this is business, guys. Big deal. And I will continue doing that. You see how quickly I can wear it. And I always carry a flat pair of nice business shoes that I can wear with a dress, but also comfortable, so I could run to catch my grandson who's running away from me, right? But still be in business mode. Okay, so we're going to go into, see how I can jump, and this is the beauty of a woman. I can jump right into business thought, just like that. And that's what we're going to teach. So today, tax harvesting. Now I use those words very specifically, but I don't have enough information because I'm working with an international client. Who's my international client?
Hortensia.
That's right. Hortensia
And Maria.
Maria are in Mexico, and I have no idea of what their tax issues are. So when I talk tax harvesting, I'm talking about an American taxation issue. If I'm going to do international business because I'm a coach, or I'm wanting to connect with another country with their community exchange, I'm going to need to learn, first of all, taxation, because every country has a different rule or set of laws for taxation. And the bottom line is, before you make it, how do you keep what you earn? So that's the very first thing for business. If you don't know how to keep it, you're going to work really hard. So today, I'm going to take just a few minutes and talk about here in the United States, what our tax rules are. You see my jackets, not quite on. There you go. Square shoulders, business. Okay, so I go like this. If you're going to make here in the United States, by the time you consider state tax and federal tax, you're looking at a 50% bracket. 50% of everything a business makes is going to some form of taxation. And so that means if I want to, Maria, if I want to make $100,000 and I want to keep it, how much do I have to plan for with taxation? If I have a 50% tax bracket and I make 100,000, how much am I going to have to make to keep my 100,000? I'm going to have to make 200. Okay, so here's what I always say: if you want to keep your 100,000, how much do you have in expenses that you can offset your tax liability with? So if I want to keep all
100,000.
I have to have $100,000 worth of expenses. So I have 0 tax liability. And so now, as an intern, are there ways that we can help a business owner generate expenses to offset their tax liability so they have 0 tax liability? And I'm going to say yes. As we start to teach you, if you're going to do business here, we're going to have to do the same thing in your country. Learn your tax liability. Now, let me ask you, do you have tax liabilities? As a wage earner or as a business owner, do you have to pay taxes?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to need to learn the tax issues of the business that you're looking to want to work with, right? And the businesses that you're going to help them grow. So you always start with taxation first, understanding how much I want to make and where are my expenses before you make them. Does that make sense? All right. So if you are here in the United States, if you're a wage earner, then there's an automatic tax bracket. And there are usually no expenses that you can write off to offset the tax liability. One of the best ways as a wage earner is to start a business, because your expenses from your business can offset your tax liability from your wages. So everyone should have a small business. And the best thing to do is to run it out of your home, because that can be an expense. I've created it in a whole new way, and that is what our home exchange package is. Can I take my home in a unique way and use it as a way to make money and to save on taxes? All right, now I'm going to hyperspeed it, because you keep shaking your head. Yes, that is so good for me, because then I understand my audience is then, yeah, I'm ready for the next thing. So I'm going to cover now 2 other things. So I'm going to clear this board. And Mashonda, can you tell me what my time frame is? Do you, or anyone?
Yeah.
What's my time frame?
It's 7:13 right now.
So I have about 2 minutes.
You have about 6 minutes.
6 minutes, perfect. So I have, now you see how I'm now in business mode, because a man is not going to allow me to go, right? So I have 6 minutes. I know I have 20 minutes worth of stuff. I have to fine tune it down to who my audience is and what is my point. Very specific, linear process. They love it. Keep what you earn. Okay, so now, if my goal as a small business or large business, so the tax rules for small business or the strategies, and that is what I do. I am a tax strategist for businesses. Because if I can keep what they earn or show them how to go and get money you've already paid back because of the tax laws, then I have a skill that I could make money anywhere, don't I? And if you as an intern are taught or coached or have access to me as I'm helping you build your internship to create money by helping another business, with having a partner or an alliance with a tax strategist so that she can go in and help them find money that they can get back, or how to make sure they don't pay in their future, that's an extraordinary asset that you have in an alliance or a partnership in my internship program, correct? And you can offer that as a value for when they put up their $10,000. Let me give you an example. They put up $10,000 and we can get them $100,000 in taxes back because you work with a tax strategist who has a staff or an alliance with other attorneys that can make sure it's bulletproof. Now do you see that you've done an alliance with someone and you can work with a small business or a large business? Now you see, I could spend another 5 hours teaching this and this, but I got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. My point is this: a small business, I would say that they make $100,000 a year. That's a simple thing with creating expenses that don't cost them anything, but they can take it off the books for taxation. If I'm working with a large business, it's going to be a little different. If I'm working with a business that's doing $1 million, how much do they have to have in expenses that don't cost them anything? $1 million. How do we do that? We do that with partnerships. Or possibly non-profit that they can take the deductions that a partnership has and use it for themselves because of the tax laws of partnerships and how you can assign deductions in an active business or in a nonprofit. And that's why they have nonprofits. Nonprofit does not mean they don't make any money. It just means it's a special law that the federal government put in place here in the United States, that if you do it as a nonprofit, you get to write off against your profits so you don't have to pay taxes on it. That simple. And I'll give you an example. As you start to learn about Tony Robbins' organization and his partners, you're going to see if you come to Business Mastery and spend $10,000, now don't quote me on this, but I'm going to give you an example. I donate $10,000 to feeding the homeless in your name. Do you see how that was a very creative way to generate some tax deductions? So as an intern, we can bring to the big business or small business some tax deductions as they train you on how to make money that helps them, but also helps you. Pretty exciting, huh? All right, that got me to close to it, right? Rashonda, any feedback, any questions, any comments?
No, that's very exciting because you're adding value to, you're finding really deductions that they would have so they can actually add more hard dollars to their bottom line. So it's awesome. Love it.
All right. So with that, you want to wrap up and tell them about the next, what's our next class?
Our next class is about hosting a virtual business event and how you can make money doing that. Guys, we are,
wait. So keep this in mind. As you learn to host a virtual event, do you have any costs if you already have a computer and access to internet?
Nope.
So can you make money from your home or from your apartment or from your bedroom if you rent a room? And as long as you somewhere have access to a computer and internet, virtual business is the new platform of business. Can you do business anywhere in the world in a virtual business?
Yeah.
That's what you've been experiencing for the last 8 days, right? Okay, now we're going to sign off. What are they going to join us for tomorrow?
Hosting a virtual business.
And we are at, let's see, ground zero, ready for the rocket to go. So we're no longer in our woman mode. We've got to close before Thursday 100 backers to give to 100 interns. And we're moving fast. We're not going to chat. We're not going to talk about jewelry. We're not going to talk about clothes. We're in the crunch time now. So when we fly over, we're going to be broadcasting from Hawaii, setting up our business mastery interns as we get ready for business mastery on Friday. And so we're going to sign off, and then we're going to take 5 minutes with Maria and Hortensia, because they are our first interns. And we're going to answer some of their questions, and then we'll share that with you as we get over to Hawaii. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.